Hello, guys. Welcome to the RLM Podcast. My name is Eli Detter, and I am finally back. It's been a long time. It's been, 3 or 4 weeks since we've released an episode, and I apologize for the delay. We were just dealing with some technical difficulties. Some upcoming news. I am going to be attempting to try and get a studio space, so an actual rented out studio space, so I can have better quality for these episodes. I can have longer podcasts, and I can actually invite people to be a guest on these podcasts. I thoroughly enjoyed the way I used to have, really good guests in, and I'm hoping that I can actually start doing that again. So we're working on it. Requires a little bit of money, a little bit of time, but it's gonna eventually happen, and I'm excited, and I will share with you guys when it does. Of course, you can always stay updated on the RLM Podcast on Instagram, YouTube, or any other social media by simply searching up at RLM Podcast. As I said, my name is Eli Detter. We're going to get right into the topic for today. I think this is a good one for just the general state of the world right now, is hope. Hope, and I want to talk about hope, and I want to talk about what doing the right thing really means in the world like today. Obviously, we are living in hard, difficult times with uncertain futures and pasts that seem to be catching up to everybody. Like I've always said, you can never really run away from your past. It's simply going to chase you down and tackle you until you learn to deal with it properly. So while I hope you guys enjoy this episode, I also hope that you can take some things away from this episode. Let's get right into it here. So what does hope really mean? What does it mean to have hope? Some could relate it to faith, that you have hope in your faith, or that some people think that hope and faith are the same thing. They are, in fact, not. Hope is not faith. Faith is not hope. I can have faith, but maybe be hopeless and rely on my faith. I think faith is what we have when our hope runs out. And I want you all to really listen to what I'm about to say. I'm about to tell you what the difference between hope and faith is. See, hope and its true meaning, hope is a desire. It's an expectation, right? And in a way, it's an expectation. It's saying, I really, really want this job, so I hope I get it. You know what I'm saying? Hope can exist when you're uncertain of the outcome of the future. That's when hope exists. Hope is when you're unsure of something. Faith is a belief that you have. This is basically saying, okay, so hope is saying you want something to happen and you believe it could happen. Faith is saying that you have confidence even when it might not appear to be true that this thing will happen, right? Hope is wishing and expecting for an outcome. Faith is trusting and believing in the outcome. You hope for what you want, and you will have faith in what you trust. This is typically more related for religion, obviously. Religion and spirituality. That is where faith really lies in. I would not say someone hopes that God and Jesus are real. I would say someone has faith and believes that God and Jesus are real. So that's where the separation there is. Now, you might ask, what does it really mean to be hopeless? Hopelessness, the feeling of hopelessness is, I guess the best way to describe it's when you feel like there's no possible way anything is going to change. If I say I'm hopeless about my love life, right, which I'm not, but if I were to say I'm hopeless about my love life, it means that I don't see there's a possibility of me finding someone to love. That's what that means. It's feeling discouraged. It's feeling just emptiness, despair, helpless. You have no motivation. You feel stuck or trapped in the same place. You feel like you can't escape. That's what hopelessness is. It's believing there is no reason to have hope. But a lack of hope doesn't mean that there is no reason to have it. It simply means that you do not see for there to be a reason to have it. Someone could be hopeless in the greatest of circumstances just because they can't see the outcome that is waiting for them. And that is sad, but it's the reality. Now, what does it mean to be faithless? Faithlessness, of course, again, faithlessness, heavily based, like I said, in religion. Religion and faith obviously have been interlinked for a while. Lack of faith means you don't have trust or confidence, right? You don't believe that anything good will happen, and you don't trust other people or the situation you're in. Faithlessness could be like you don't believe in God. That is lacking faith. You lack faith in God. Could you not saying right now? You might be like, well, aren't those kind of the same? Like, aren't those kind of the exact same thing? They're not. they're comparable to each other. Faithless, like I said, faithless means lacking your trust or belief. You don't believe anything will work out. You don't believe, you doubt other people. You doubt the outcome. You doubt that there could be a higher power than you. Hopelessness is when you believe that nothing will get better. There is no positive side, that there is no positive future. You feel, like I said, you feel stuck, defeated. You can be faithless, but be hopeless. And you can be hopeful, but be faithless. When you're faithless, but you're still hopeful, you don't trust the process, but you still want things to improve. When you are hopeful, but faithless, you want things to get better, but don't strongly believe they will. Now, how do these things differ emotionally and psychologically, right? Faithless is a mindset. The mindset of being faithless is just you're questioning everything. You don't have any faith. You don't have any base that you can fall back on, right? Those who believe in Christianity have the base that they can fall back on, the fact that God loves them. No matter what they do, God loves them. Like Jesus died for their sins. That is their faith that they can fall back on no matter what, because that's their unchanging faith, right? So if you don't have that, what do you have to fall back on? You have nothing. So of course you're going to question everything. Of course you're going to be skeptical of everything. You have nothing to fall back on. You have no home to go to when you're questioning all these things. Because at least someone who has faith can be like, well, I know this is for a fact, or I believe this enough because there's enough evidence or proof of this. When you're hopeless, again, it's that feeling of being defeated, being trapped, being shut down from the world. You have no motivation. You withdraw from other people. People can tell that you're hopeless. Realistically, hopelessness is much more dangerous than being faithless. I personally believe that because I believe that in having no hope means all your motivation and your meaning from life. Not having faith can be painful, but you can still build your faith back up and build the trust back up that comes from it. So I don't believe that just because you have no faith means you're a bad person. That means that you're just, that you're lesser than because you don't have a faith. Now, going off of that, I want to kind of segue to my next point. I believe in this world that people make choices based off their faith and their hope that they have, right? Which is why I often wonder why certain people choose to make the wrong choice. Making the wrong choice. I'm going to say this, and this may be unpopular for you, but making the wrong choice is a purposeful action that someone has to choose to take. No one's making them do it. No one in the world can force you to be a bad person. There is nothing a person should be able to do or say to force you into making the wrong decision at any point in your life. And if someone does do that, get away from them. Go get that person as far away from you. They don't deserve you in their life if they're going to be this toxic person that's getting you to do the wrong thing. Who shouldn't want to do the wrong thing? And maybe that's what's so insane to me. That's what's so incredulous to me, is that there are people that willingly choose to do the wrong thing because they think it'll achieve the outcome that they want. And I'm like, there's never, doing the wrong thing is never going to get you the outcome that you want. One, that's first of all. It's never going to get you the right outcome that you wish you had. It's going to give you a warped version of that. That's not going to be as effective. It's not going to be as it's not going to be healthy at all. It's going to break you down slowly because you're relying on something that is less powerful. That it shouldn't matter. You should never in your life want to do the wrong thing. I don't care what situation you're in. You could have your back against the wall, be in the worst situation possible, and not know what to do. I don't care. You should never have the thought, and you should never follow through with the thought. Even if you have the thought, because of course we're all going to have thoughts, but even if you have that thought, you should never follow through with the thought to do the wrong thing for any reason. I don't care who you are. I don't care where you come from. I don't care what it is. You should never do the wrong thing for any reason because there's no excuse for it. There isn't. There's no excuse. There's no justification that you could make for yourself or other people as to why they did the wrong thing. And when we're talking about the wrong thing, I'm not talking about the law. I'm talking about the moral code that you should live by. If you do something that you know is morally incorrect to do, is morally wrong, and you choose to do it, you're making a willing choice to go against what you know is the right thing, to make an option that is entirely and wholly selfish in its nature. You are choosing to go against not only God and what you know that teaching would want you to do, would tell you is the right thing to do, but what you in your deepest of hearts know is the wrong thing. And you still choose to do that. I'm not saying it makes you any worse than the next guy, but what it does is it separates you from them because it means that you're willing to do the wrong thing, knowing what the outcome is, knowing that the outcome is not going to be positive. And I'm not saying that, and you might be like, oh, how is that positive if I'm selfish and I still get what I want? It's not positive because of how you did it. And you think anyone's going to respect you for that? You think anyone's going to respect you for doing the wrong thing? If you get respect from that, then they're just as bad as you are. There should never be any honor or respect that comes from doing the morally wrong thing. And if there is, shame on you and shame on the other people that are giving you that reward for your misbehavior. I have never once hoped that people like me because I did the wrong thing. I try generally not to do the wrong thing. I try to lead an example and do the right thing so other people see that there's a better result. There's a better life lived doing the right thing. There's nothing to be gained from being a person that disrespects others, that's rude to others, that takes what he wants and doesn't give anything back. There's nothing to be gained from that. So how about instead of being the person that makes you willing and the ultimately harder choice to do the wrong thing, how about we be the person that makes the right choice and does the right thing? Not because it's the right thing, but because it's the right thing is what we want to be doing. If you do the right thing just because you know it's the right thing, sure, that's good, I guess. That we can't say, oh, that's bad. No, but it's not powerful. Now, someone choosing to help the lady across the street because they willingly want to do that is, in my opinion, better than the guy that does it because he wants other people to see him. I can admit, I have before, lots of times I've done the good thing because I wanted other people to see that I was doing it. I'm not gonna lie, there's sometimes I probably still do that. But I try not to let that be what motivates me to do the right thing. I truly want to do the right thing because I don't want to be the guy that chooses to do the wrong things. I like the way being a good person feels. I like it when I'm able to help someone and they're actually able to succeed or proceed further with that help with the assistance that I gave them. I like that. I appreciate that. I enjoy that. I enjoy that feeling. And I'm not doing it all just for a feeling. I'm doing it all for the actual benefit of other people. That other people get to have an enhanced way of life because of this. That I'm helping them actually improve their way of living because I helped them with something that they were struggling with. If I'm ever able to do that, I hope I take every chance. There should never be a reason that I hesitate to help someone like that. Yes, sometimes you have to swallow tongue and just do it. I understand that. It's not easy. It's not supposed to be easy. There's no one that said this was going to be simple, easy, or make sense. But if what you're going to base everything off of is how you feel, more often than not, you are not going to feel like doing the right thing. More often than not, you are going to feel like making the wrong choice. Now, the difference between Now, why are you going to feel like making the wrong choice? Sometimes the wrong choice is the quicker option. Is it quicker to steal what you want than to wait to have it in the right way? Of course it is. Of course it's quicker. It's easy. It's easy to make the right choice or to make the wrong choice and it's easy because it's fast. I'm not saying it's easy because it's, actually easy. I'm saying it's easy because but is it easy to do that, walk away and not look back? That's the real question. Is that as easy for you? If it is, then fine, right? If it is, fine, go do that. If that's really what you feel is easier, that's all yours. Do I truly believe you're gonna ever feel satisfied? Fuck no. I don't think there's any reason you'd actually feel satisfied from this. The most you're gonna have a half second of you know of satisfaction. That's the reality. You're gonna have a half second of satisfaction. You're gonna have a little high off of, oh wow, gosh, that was fun. That was exciting. Isn't that insane? If doing the wrong thing excites you, you need to seriously reconsider the choices you're making in this life. Doing the wrong thing should not make you feel good. And if it does, if in your heart of hearts it actually makes you feel good, I ask you to seriously look deep inside yourself and ask yourself what could possibly be the upside of this. I genuinely want you to ask yourself that. Purely, I don't believe that there can be possibly any upside to doing the wrong thing. And I say that from experience from doing the wrong thing, and I say that from experience from watching others do the wrong thing. That I don't seem to understand what the allure is, if that's the right word. I don't understand what the upside is. So when I see people willingly doing the wrong thing, I'm ultimately confused because I do not understand how the wrong thing can ever be perceived as a right thing. And if that's just me, then that's just me. If that's just something I will never understand, then maybe I'm not meant to understand that. Maybe there's a reason God has not made that something that I understand or wish to do. I never wish to be the bad person. I never want to be that person. I hated the feeling of when I was a bad kid. I hated that feeling. I mean, you guys know, I've talked about it. I was a absolutely rotten kid. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. I was rotten. I wouldn't have wanted to have me as a kid. Because I understand why. I hated the feeling. I mean, I kept doing it because there was something that made me want to keep being the bad person, but I hated the feeling that was left behind by being the wrong person. I couldn't stand it. I hated the feeling of other people being disappointed or disgusted by my actions. So I learned, well, there's an easy way to not ever feel like that. Don't be a freaking bad person. No, yes, we are all bad people. None of us are great people. None of us are good people relative to what God has written down for us. We've all sinned in horrible, horrible, magnificent ways, right? But if that's the crutch we're going to fall on for why we're not going to do the right thing, oh, well, I'm already a sinner. Might as well just keep doing that. That's how heavily flawed you. Heavily flawed. That doesn't properly translate, okay? You can't claim to have the excuse that you can fail because you're already a failure in the eyes of God, but at the same time, tell someone else that they are worse than you. If you were already saying, oh, well, yeah, I know I'm not a good person, well, okay, then no one is. There is no good person, there's no bad person. Everyone is equally as horrible. Everyone is equally as wretched. I 100% admit that I'm not a good person. I've done very bad things in my life, and I'm willing to face the consequences for those bad things. I'm willing to be, well, I fucked up really bad. All right. Now, how can I move forward from this? How can I proceed in my life? All right. That's the question I want to be asking myself. How can I proceed further? That's the only thing I care about in this world is how can I proceed further to at least try to be a better person than I began as? And if that's not what you're striving to do, again, you need to reconsider your options in this world. You need to reconsider what it is you truly actually want. If you don't care about being a good person, admit that at least to yourself, if not to us. Admit it to yourself. If you're not going to say it to the world that you're not a good person, admit it to yourself, reconcile it with God, so that you are not living under the disguise or under the impression that you're this great person. Admit what you really are, so you can be accepted in the house of the Lord. I recently sat down with this Bible study at the barracks, and this guy asked me, this was about 2 weeks ago, this guy asked me, he said, what does it mean? He asked me, he was like, if you died right now or tomorrow or whatever, do you think you would go to heaven? And I was like, well, I've done some bad things in my life, but I believe I would go to heaven. And he was like, why? I said, well, because I try to be a better person. And he was like, well, the Bible says that that's not really what it is required to get into heaven. And what this guy explained to me, and the guy was he was like, oh, he's like, how long have you been going to church and stuff like that? I'm like, well, I've been going for, a good amount of my life, right? And he's like, well, I don't really love it the way he said it, because he was like, well, I'm surprised that you don't know this. I was like, okay, well, sue me. But he was just like, I hope you know that God says that, there's nothing that we can do to get ourselves into heaven. If we're going to base the things that we're doing on whether or not it's going to get us into heaven, God's already told us it's not going to. It's not going to work like that. To get into heaven, requires admitting that you deserve hell. That's the basis. To get into heaven requires admitting that you deserve hell, but acknowledging that God is giving you the gift of heaven. So understand that you cannot do anything in this world to achieve heaven. We tracking on that? There's nothing you can do. And I think that's beautiful. I think that is beautiful. There's nothing that we can do. I think that's amazing. I do, and I don't know why I do. I don't know why I do. I don't know why I think that's so perfect. But I do. I think it's perfect that there's truthfully nothing that we can do to get ourselves into heaven. The only thing we can do is admit that we deserve hell and then accept the gift that God has given us of heaven. So if you do bad things in this world, so I'm gonna wrap this up here. If you do bad things in this world, understand this. That does not make you any worse than anyone else. It simply means that you are willing, you've made yourself willing and complicit to choosing a quicker option. You are not willing to do the hard thing. And that is sad, because the harder thing is usually the better option. It's usually the morally correct option. It's usually the one that's going to leave you a better person and feel like a better person. If you want others to see you as a good person, do the right thing. No matter how painful it is, no matter how hard it is, no matter how much judgment you get from other people, do the right thing, regardless of the way they're going to react to you. Just do the right thing because it's the right thing. Thank you all for listening into this episode. If you stayed around for the whole thing, I really hope you did. I do these podcasts because I truly, if I can help anyone in this world, I want it to be people that need the help. So please go on about your day, your week, your month, knowing that you are loved by this world, that you are appreciated, you are accepted by this world. We love you, and we all think you are amazing. No matter how much you've messed up in your life, I hope that you know that you are still loved by this world. That there is a God that loves you, that there is a Jesus loves you, that there is a Holy Spirit that will always be with you no matter what. I hope you have family and friends. I can also say the same. I believe everyone is loved. I know everyone is loved because it was promised to us. You are promised heaven, but you deserve hell. And that's okay. We all do. Do not let others stray you from the path of God. Do not let others tell you that you are not wanted or not loved or not appreciated in this world. You are all of those and more. We are as strong as the weakest of us, and that is going to be true forever. I hope either all of us or none of us are judged for the choices that we choose to make, not for the mistakes we make. Thank you all for listening to the podcast today. I hope you gained something. I hope you learned something. I know I did. You can always keep up with the RLM Podcast on every streaming platform, and I hope you continue to do so, because things are only getting better from here. Thank you, and have a great rest of your day.